Alvin, Tam,
Carol.
welcome to Willka T'ika.
Thank you.
You are the very first artist and acrobat of Cirque du Soleil to visit us here.
It's an honor.
And I feel honored that you have come together with your wife Jade and your son Centauri to visit us and co-lead the group. Can you please tell me how you have adapted your amazing talents and background of decades of challenging and dedicated work to a visit to Willka T'ika?
Well, my background is in circus, and I've spent between 15 and 20 years in the circus officially. So I've trained in all sorts of different circus disciplines, and I performed all over the world, and most notably, as you said, my last major performance was with Cirque du Soleil, and I stayed with them for about 5 years. But throughout my entire career, I was performing and teaching a lot, and one of my great joys was teaching with children and adults. And one of the natural extensions when we came to Willka T'ika was that we were very excited and looking forward to the visit with the Quechuan school, with the Andean children. And there's always an element of sharing that happens with our retreats, and one of the best ways that we found to share with children is to use a discipline that transcends languages, and that discipline is circus, because the language of acrobatics, the language of juggling, the language of clowning, all transcends any language, and it's universal. And we had the opportunity to visit this school after an adventurous drive up the mountain to, I think, 14,000 feet from where we are here, and arriving in this school with these beautiful children all lined up in the courtyard with their clothing multicolored and very excited, obviously. And we arrived and we were very excited. And they first gave us a mini performance with some singing and dancing and got us, up and moving about. And then they all sat down. And I realized this is probably when we should probably do a little demonstration. And I thought we were going to do a little demonstration to maybe 30 kids, but there was, I don't know, maybe 100 to 200 kids. And they all just sat down waiting for a show now, and I wasn't quite ready for the show. But if you're a good circus performer, you're always ready to do a show. So we took out some props, some juggling equipment, and I did some handstands and flips, and got the kids up to do some juggling with us. And I think it was one of my favorite parts of our retreat, because it's so important, I think, for us when we organize a retreat to share with people. And that really makes the experience more rich, that rather than going to a different place, a new country, and just taking. And I think this is also part of the properties of Aini that's expressed here, and particularly in this area. So we were very happy to be part of that process. And the children were beautiful and amazing, very generous and very friendly. So that was definitely how we were able to apply circus to this retreat.
And since you have traveled all over the world and you've probably met many, many children, what would be one or two words that describe the Quechua character and personality?
That's really easy to answer. The way I would characterize the Quechuan children, different from all the other children I've met around the world. And I've worked with children in Africa and in Brazil and in China and Japan, all over the world, everywhere I've been. The United States and Canada, of course. And there's a very open-mindedness to the children here and a willingness to play. And of course, all children all over the world want to play, but these children like to just jump right out of their seats and play. And they were a little tentative at first to come up on stage with me, but that's normal. But once they did, all the kids just wanted to come up and start to play with the equipment and play with me. And there's a very clear generosity and warm-heartedness with the children here, which I'm sure extends from the foundation of their culture. And that's a wonderful thing to see.
I also noticed that you came back to Willka T'ika speaking Quechua phrases, which is quite difficult.
Well, I learned 3 things that I remember. The first one, I might make a mistake, but I think it's
Iman Sutiki.
Iman Sutiki is what's your name. Nochak Sutimi is Alvin, is my name is. And then Imanailan Kasanki is how are you. And then Alinyami was good, I believe. And then when I'm doing a show, I always ask the children to count to 3 to get them engaged. So that one was Yupai Kinsakama. Oh, Iske Kinsa. 1, 2, 3.
I think that's fantastic because in all the 30 years I've been in Peru, I've never heard anyone say any words in Quechua.
Yes.
So I honor you for that, and I appreciate you being here with Jade, your lovely wife, and your little son, Santori.
Thank you.
And I'll leave you with one word that our Kero Paco always says. He puts his hand on his left heart and he says, Urpi Songho Yai. Have you heard that expression?
No.
Urpi Songho Yai. And I translated is, may the dove, the peace of the dove and the love from your heart be returned to you. So thank you very much for being here.
Much gratitude. Thank you for having this place.
Urpi Yai Songho Yai.
Gracias.